The Room 3. Yep. I mean, obviously, we're still going on. I'm not done with this. There's 3 more games after this. Well, 3 more games including this. I would like to point out that I have sort of gotten fed up with NVIDIA Shadowplay, which has been my recording software for, well, since I started doing this. Mostly because it was convenient and relatively light on storage space. The file sizes weren't too massive. But it's just pissing me off a lot at the moment. So I'm using a new recording software. I'm using Streamlabs to record, and it's a little more... It's got a little more oomph on the processing power. And sometimes when I've done some tests, I've had less performance in the recording than I've gotten with Shadowplay, which is a bit worrying. However, I'm gonna give this a try. I'm gonna start tweaking with the settings and see if I can get this to go through. At the very least, this game isn't quite as hefty on the GPU, so it should be alright. And I am planning, by the way, apropos of nothing, on getting a more powerful PC, hopefully early next year. But that's yet to come. Anyway, the Room 3. At the end of the Room 2, we released something from the... well, into the world. Something tentacly and dangerous. Almost certainly dangerous. So, we'll be seeing what that does. On this menu, we've got a triangle that I've not seen before, but there is a pyramid that is intricately designed and very pretty. A lovely fountain pen. Clearly with the drawing, by the way. I think this was actually in the first game, that drawing of the null object. I don't know what, the null element. So I don't know, yeah, I don't know where we're going with this, but I am assuming somewhere with a puzzle. Somewhere with a series of puzzles that we'll have to solve. Little fiddly puzzles that will eventually bring us closer to the null element. I keep calling it a triangle. That pyramid. Is it a pyramid? It's a 3-sided pyramid. Well, it seems very important since they're using it as a loading screen. Train. Oh, hello. I'm on a train. Chew, and I cannot stress this enough. Chew, drag the screen to look around. Hold on. Southern, I can't see this. Southern Western Railway. The Great Southern Western Railway. The gateway to Great Britain. British Railways. Can I tell what year it is? It's a steam train, so... Well, the last game seemed to have taken place sometime after, I think, 1903, so let's call it like 1905, 1906 at some point. Double-click on the journal to focus on it. I've got a cup of tea! I have never felt more English than I feel at this moment. I want the cup of tea. Alright, I can only... I'm in first class as well. Okay. This will be the journal. Got the symbology on it. Click and drag to open the journal, yes. July 5th. AS is gone. Oh, I'm not going to get any notes from that guy anymore. His entire house... I think this is me writing. Did we never get his name, by the way? Alistair Sinclair or something like that. His entire house is gone. I dare not recount all that I saw. I would rather that I was insane, and that those infernal boxes were but a figment of my fevered mind. I should never have ignored you. If only I had come sooner. If only I had not come at all. July 17th. I have awoken from the nightmare, but I am forever haunted by it. I submerge myself in my work, and as if to drown out the memories, but it is of no use. The null calls to me in my sleep, and seizes any unoccupied moment to fill my thoughts unbidden. I am marked. He's got, like, thumbprints of the ink, presumably from the inkwell. Oh, I can keep reading. July 19th. I have continued to petition the Royal Institute. There is something about their denials that does not sit with me. Their insistence is too shrill and determined to cover something as innocent as ignorance. July 21st. A breakthrough! As the Royal Institute rebuffed me once more, an undersecretary with a drawn look slid a packet into my jacket pocket as they passed. They refused to meet my eye as they hurried away. The packet is included a page torn from a map of the south coast with an island circled. I leave on the first train, so I'm heading towards the coastline. of England. So we're heading for a coastal holiday. Are we heading to Cornwall? Oh, I can keep reading this. Okay, it's a bunch of drawings there. Ancient symbolism connections. These rubbings taken from N something or other. N Sapurara. Estimated 2620 BC. 12th century? 12th C? I'm not sure. Impossible to date the first appearance of null symbolism. There must be some import in the repeated symbols or shapes, but what? Globe. That is the null object. The coast for the null. So hang on. We got a triangle here, starting with, I think it's Colchester, Minsk, and Foggia in Italy. Pan-European Trail, early Crusades. Geometric form repeated throughout. Possible celestial links. Earth, Sun, Moon. Room, Temple, Tomb, Crypt, Infinity. Those are the... I believe... No. Well, those are the rooms, or those are not tarot cards. Some of them are tarot cards. Not the messages I typed into the typewriter. 3 points of interest. This is in North Africa. The concept of thirds repeat. Yeah, well, a lot of... again, with the triangles... Oh, I wasn't done with that. There was more to read. Well, we're in a tunnel now. Hi! Hello, sir! Okay, that... I'm alright. That didn't look like the guy that came out of the first... the doorway in the first game. That really freaked me out. He did not. He looked a bit, Freddy Krueger-ish. It was, yeah. Not pleasant. I'm gonna look at the box. It's got a shimmering surface on it, which means I probably need my eyepiece. But I want to look back at the journal because there were more pages. The end of everything, the doorway awaits. The path to the past and the future, doors equals gateways. My mind feels loose. And it's all blank after that. Alright, scary person. I assume that might be the creature that left the portal. He's taken on a more human disguise, so not a very convincing one. Double click on the box to focus on it. This is what he's left behind. Click on the key to pick it up. A small key. Doesn't go on the box anywhere. There's no keyhole on the box. The wooden surface looks strange. I should get the IP from my suitcase. I'm guessing the keyhole is behind the shimmering surface. Double click on the suitcase. Slide the latches to unlock the suitcase, and we're seeing the surfaces that tell you can move stuff. Lovely. The sound design is very good in this game, by the way. My suitcase has some modifications. I require a degree of secrecy. I'm going to guess this latch. This is slidey. I like that. I want a suitcase like that, just to keep... a bunch of, like, aged images and stuff, just to mess up with some, like, TSA guards or whatever. Just to mess around with someone who x-rays my material. Okay, channel. I think... Top Bay, I think this is the English channel. That might be the island I'm headed to. Here. Miss Margaret Cox. Manor house destroyed. No remains found. Elusive owner missing. Was that my house? I always got the impression I was... In the second game, it talked about employing a grave robber. So I assume that's who I was. But maybe I'm the owner. Or AS was the owner. And I was, like, employed to find it. But I seem to be a lot more cultured than that. Oh, I've left hints on. Hold on. Let me fix that. I forgot to check that. I assumed, sorry, that I was a hire, a mercenary. Not quite a mercenary, but someone hired to find things. Alright, grab the eyepiece, strap that on. I think it straps around your head. I bet it looks very silly. Blackstone, Torbay, Dartmouth. I can't quite read this, or I can read that one. Burton. I'm not sure how to pronounce it. Torbay and Blackstone. I think Blackstone is going to be the island we're headed to. These markings would suggest locations, probably not. Maybe points of interest in the sea, in the channel. My understanding of the English Channel is that it's very choppy, so I wouldn't necessarily be inclined to hang out there and try and find something under the ocean. Move it. I should use my eyepiece to examine that curious box. Is there anything else I should look at here? More of those mathematical symbols that I don't think actually mean anything. If they do, I can't understand it. Alright. Shimmering surface. Am I the same character? Yes, I am. I am definitely the same character. Yes, because he wrote about it in his journal. Alright, I have to solve this. Slide it, all slides together. No, you want that there, and that there, and that will give me access to a keyhole that wasn't there before. It's all about perspective. Rotate the key. Oh, wow. That looked pretty spectacular, I have to be honest. There's the pyramid. What's the name of that shape? Tetrahedron? An engraved pyramid. I think it's technically a tetrahedron. I think a pyramid has 4 sides. Elpis. Elpis is the... Hold on. We're being attacked by... that... Oh my god. Did we just get teleported? What happened? Where am I? Okay. So whatever force we released has now captured us, I think, and put us into a cell. I would like to... Hang on, I'm gonna pause up. The note said Elpis. Now, in Greek mythology, Elpis is the god or a deity of hope. And it was caught in the lid. It's mostly known as a box, but it was more likely a jar that Pandora opened and released all of the bad things in the world. When Pandora opened the box, Elpis was trapped in the lid, and eventually when it was replaced, it was kept in the jar, or the box. But ultimately, Elpis means hope, and it is related to Pandora's box, which I think it could be safe to say that we have now officially opened. Okay. So we're stuck in a dungeon. There's nothing around. I'm gonna have a look at this pyramid. I'm fairly certain this is a tetrahedron. Engraved pyramid. I can't select it. I think it's got to go somewhere. Oh, there's something over there. I guess I got to look at the door. I want to look through the... Can I look at the mechanism down here? Yes, I can. Okay, that's a locking mechanism. I feel like I could just lift this up and move all the gearing around. Like, if I just got my finger in there and just lifted it up and then turned the gears. That seems insecure. That does not seem like a secure locking system. You don't want these prisoners to have access to that. Alright, my first guess is obviously slide back the bolt. And open the window and have a peek. Oh, that'd be you. Oh, wow. Sorry, we've never seen another character in any of these games before. There's a lot of effort been done with that character animation. That looked very natural. And I like the way the tendrils slide around as he walks. I think he's brought me here for a reason, and I can kind of guess what it is. And there's also these tentacles from... I'm not sure what they are. Eldritch growths that are just all over the place now. They don't look pleasant. I don't know if I'd want to touch it. Just slimy things. I don't like. Alright, my first job should be to break out of this cell, I think. So this has become not just a room game, but an escape the room puzzle game. I guess it's got something to do with that. I reckon this opens... I can cut out the back. There is a pathway out the rear. But my first thought is to find something that slots in there and turns the gearage. But it's all over here. Does that guy know I can see him? I assume he does. That'll turn. Ooh, a bone. Is that a human bone? It looks like a cartoon bone. A candle. Pocket watch. A syringe. I feel like we've had more sides than there ought to be. I don't even know what that is. No, I couldn't even guess. Paintbrush. And back to a bone. I don't know how many sides that's got. Alright, before I... Oh, and the cover's gone, by the way. That's just disappeared. I gotta check all of these. I'm gonna read this note at the top before I go anywhere else. I need to get some context. Nicely sealed, nicely wrapped up, very formal. You were warned not to look for me, but you would not listen, and it has become necessary for me to find you. Welcome to Grey Home, the seat of my ancestors. Seldom few visitors have walked these halls, fewer still have walked free of them. In the past, I have drawn subjects from the greatest minds of history. Each played their part, but none outlived it. The null wraps its bonds around all. All except you. It was a mistake to try and keep you away. I see now that I have great need of you. If you can prove yourself worthy, your first task is to find something that will aid you in your trials ahead. Find it, or never leave this room, and I will have gone to great effort in vain. The Craftsman. Okay, Grey Home. It's the seat of the Craftsman ancestors. So this is a dynasty of null researching craftspeople. I assume they're just, you know, he's not the latest. So that's, I am assuming that is the creepy looking fella we've seen on the train and just walked past. So he's expecting me to solve some puzzles. So we'll not be annoying him if we try to break out of here. That's what he wants. Okay. Will do, Mr. Craftsman. The seal has been broken. I need to find my way out of here. Something will definitely open here. Is there something on each side? No, just on that one. So I've got to find a way to open that door. I think I've got to check through each of these things. Alright, it's like one of those little pocket portraits that you had back in the day. My mother had one of these of her grandmother, I think. But it was a picture, obviously, not a painting. That looks like some kind of scroll. I can't access it through the bars. Some poison. Stoicunia? Cartwright & Co. Pharmacy. Guildford, England. I like the detailing on the bottles. I can't quite see what it reads. I might zoom into that in post. Quill and ink. Old-time pair of glasses. An hourglass. And back to the pocket portrait. And this one contains... I think that's a train whistle. Small pocket knife. A moth. I think that's the death's head moth. A tobacco pipe. A chalice, I would call that. And something that is empty and air. Now, what does all that mean? Does it alter anything at the top? Is there any way I can access any of these goods or material? Well, I don't know. But none of those seem to give me a way out. Now, obviously, I'm going to have to find a means to do something. I want to try and pull on these chains. I feel like that'd open something. Check out these candles. Is there any clue as to... I think I need to find a combination of 3 of these to show in the out, and that will, it acts like a it acts like a combination dial. Trials ahead. Seldom few. You were warned not to look for me. Drawn. Am I getting it from each of the paragraphs? I think. Look would suggest the eyeglasses, for instance. But you would not listen. It's become necessary to find you. I think look, drawn. We had a quill and ink. Your task is to find something that will aid you in your trials ahead. Find it or never leave this room. And I will have gone to great effort in vain. Keep you away. I see that I have great need of you. I don't know if I'm overthinking this. I need to find something that will aid me. Let's have a look. That's got nothing. I want to try. Time. I should try and collect all of these. Can I grab the pocket watch? No, I think the problem is I think the quill and the eyeglasses are in the same location, so I can't have that. If I thought look somehow meant eyeglasses and the quill somehow meant draw. But that might not be it. Okay, well, first of all, immediately I've forgotten that I still have that glass, that eyepiece, and I can look at it. So the power of flight, the well of knowledge. So that's the ink and quill here. Flight feather and the well, the ink well. This one, the poor have me, the rich need me, nothing. So empty. My face is silent without my hands. My face is silent without my hands. That'll be the pocket watch. There we go. See, I thought it was like that. I just needed to find the combination, and I gotta remember to use the eyepiece. I keep forgetting to do that for some reason. It is quite painful. Fuck you, craftsman. It is quite painful to watch how you blunder to and fro, half blinded by these crude lenses you stumbled upon. Allow me to pry the scales from your eyes. Hold on, I should be doing my craftsman's voice. It is quite painful to watch how you blunder to and fro, half blinded by these crude lenses you stumbled upon. Allow me to pry the scales from your eyes. These are the instruments of a craftsman. They will allow you to see the universe as it truly is, and reach into the unforeseen infinity of space that surrounds us. The craftsman. Very well. I get an upgrade to my lens. I got one at the end of the last game. I assumed I'd still have it, but I don't actually seem to have it. There's some sort of mechanism keeping the box closed. I should take a closer look. I agree. What do we think? An ornate box. Very pretty. Every one of these games, the sort of quality of the individual models and all the stuff around here goes up. It's very nice. That definitely turns. Slotting around. And there it is. An upgrade to the eyepiece. A lens. Do I need to find more lenses? Oh, that slides back and forth. There is something strange on this door. Okay. Where the eyepiece? Double click on the door to examine. Double click on the keyhole. Ooh! God, I've gone inside. Oh, do I have to get to pick the lock now? Okay. So, these two move together. I have to find a point at which they meet the breaching point. There we are. Okay. There. That should unlock. That's kind of actually how a key works, except they don't have those sort of big clunky things. They would have pins that get aligned by the actual part of the key. Man, I love the animations in this game. I feel like this is a second tutorial. That's not gotten me very far. Double click on the doorway to go through it. Oh, very missed. It gets more and more sort of a modern version of Myst every single time, which is good. I liked Myst. I played it a couple of years ago. I played one of the remastered versions. But I really enjoyed that. I mean, considering playing Riven at some point. But it's a little on the expensive side right now. Okay, I think I see a place where a triangle might go. A place where a... I keep forgetting what they call that. A tetrahedron might go. First of all, though, we're going to notice the fact that, you know, the gloop is around here, as we've seen before, and the tentacles are growing out of it. Have we decided what cosmic horror god thing this guy is related to? Because I imagine it's one of them. I don't know if it's Cthulhu, but there's a substantial pantheon in the Lovecraftian mythos. Anyway, let's see what the craftsman's written for me this time. The key to the null will be forged here. I have given you the first piece. For safety... For safety, the remaining 4 are held separately. Retrieve them and bring them to this font. Only then can you fulfill your destiny. The craftsman. Alright, so I've got to find 4 more. These are keys. These engraved pyramids. And I assume I plonk it down here. There we are. Ooh. And it moves by itself. Oh, it's a top. It's a spinning top. Alright. 4 more keys. Each one of them goes on these circles and spins around. An emblem. Your family crest, Mr. Craftsman? Mouse, snake. God, I wish I could remember heraldic terms. Not exactly imposing, is it, sir? Never mind. Alright, so I've got to get 5 of these spinning, and that will forge the key to the null. Okay. Does this open a doorway? Oh, yeah. That'd probably go there. So it's multiple crests, kind of dynastic crests constantly going down in, as new families forged. They did this in medieval Europe. When you'd marry, you would sort of combine your family crests. So that's a lot of fun. I like they're including some actual, like, bits of historical knowledge and, you know, just things that I'm interested in. So yeah, I can see that you've got the mouse, the snake, these combine to create something else, which would eventually turn into that. And I've got to find the combinations that work. Alright, let's start with the top. Here, I need an owl of some description. That one, 2 stars and an owl. These would combine to make something with a sort of an upside, kind of a peace sign really, without the circle around it, and a cricket. Maybe that one, or maybe that one. Or actually, I should combine it to that one, so it would be blue background with the cricket on the top left. And that should combine to create 1/2 of the dynastic emblem. I wonder if this is the craftsman's family tree. Okay. We have a quartered, what do they call that? I don't know. They have their heraldry has their own special names for certain colors. But it's quartered and it's gonna have a rat somewhere in it. I don't know if it has. It should only have 1 rat there. And then this would have the snake probably in the bottom right. That should be it. There we go. Do you enjoy heraldry? I do. And that will open the doorway to the next piece of the null key. Through we go. Oh yes. What is this place? I have to find a way out. Well, okay. Found a way out. You can just go back. All right, I've got to dig out the key from somewhere in this room. So now it's sort of the rooms. I think it was like that the last time. But more specifically, it's a series of rooms connected to each other in the same building. Alright, I'm guessing it's some kind of, I don't know if it's a camera or some kind of, like, sensor equipment. Can I have a look out the window? Looks like a lighthouse in the distance. Is that the lighthouse I was at before? No, it was in, well, that was in Scotland. It was on a island. What sort of, it was a medical, a piece of medical, well, it was a medical facility, or experimentation facility. Hold on. Let's read up what the craftsman has to say about this room, and I'm probably going to fiddle with all these drawers and such. I'll probably turn all this as well. There's a lot to do. I'm going to have to go through this place methodically. Alright. As you have discovered on your little adventures, contained within the null is the power to transfer matter across space and time. Oh, am I actually physically being transported? I always assumed that was sort of either shifting between dimensions or somehow, in some way, like, mentally imposed. I have watched you cross leagues and centuries, just as some lesser individual might cross a street. But what of light years? What of eons? You have barely even begun to tap its potential. I have charted a world not unlike our own, yet incredibly distant. It is the source of the null. I have measured it, even seen it. But I cannot reach it. Not without your help. But first I must teach you how. And you must prove capable of learning. The craftsman. He's going to another planet? This is getting all sci-fi? I'd love to go to another planet. I'd love to go see the homeworld of the null. That sounds like a great fun. I don't mind injecting a bit of sci-fi into this. Alright, first of all, this has got to turn somewhere. I'm assuming these probably hook up to something and then you can turn them and then that will activate and open the top drawer. That's locked with a key, but this doesn't look like it has to be, but it is. I want to say it's some kind of, what do I call those things? They use it for very early computers. It's a very early form of like computer monitor, or signal monitor probably. It's basically a single, the same kind of beams they use in CRTs, but a single beam that's projecting across a surface. Damn it, I can't remember off the top of my head what they called it. It's connected to a wire, which, is that connected? Hold on. I could turn these, and I think I've got to adjust some kind of signal. Let's see where that wire, I imagine it gets connected into this box. So I've got to turn something on. What if I just flick these switches? Okay. Not those. That doesn't move. Okay, I've got to somehow turn these on. Now, that has another wire that goes up into here, so do I have to sort out a puzzle to turn on the electricity or have the electricity pass through. So we got energy has been built up here, just like the battery in the second game, and I've got to somehow pass it through all these filaments. I would say fuses, but these are like light filaments. Okay. We've got two sort of connectors. I want to go from there to there. No, not you. You go from there to there. And then through to there. You can skip a fuse. And that will turn on the power. Passes it through a... What is it, just a breaker box? Oh, okay. Turns on a bunch of lights that go to the lighthouse. Am I trying to activate the lighthouse? Power up. Very satisfying. And that gives me the power, which passes it through to this signal scope. I'm just going to call it a signal scope. And I'm assuming I just have to mash the waveforms. So let's... Well, we need more amplitude. I think we need a higher frequency. Much higher frequency. Let's turn up the frequency. We're going to need to turn up the amplitude. Hold on. That's, I think, the right frequency. Pump up the amplitude. Almost. I'm going to broaden the frequency. There we are. And... Signal matched. Ooh, laser. I didn't... Hang on. I've opened up another doorway. I forgot to look around the actual... Oh, complete chapter 1, the proposition. That was a whole chapter? That felt very easy. And then I move... Where am I now?